Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have been MIA and I apologize. Life has been so crazy in our house that I just needed a break from social media. I was on it, every now and again, but I just did not have the motivation to post and all the things that I wanted to do. Um, yeah, but I was getting a ton of messages and new followers in the infertility community in my absence. And so I just felt like I wanted to update you guys on what's going on in our life. A lot of people have kind of been seeing little tidbits here and there of what we're doing. And so I just wanted to update everybody. It's just easier to just get on, the camera and just tell you guys what happened. So I'm going to update you on our infertility steps, what we found out, what we're doing in the future, and what the heck is going on with our life outside of infertility. So, 6 weeks ago, we found out we were pregnant with our third time, I guess I should say. It is always scary for people going through, who have gone through miscarriages before. I mean, especially ectopic pregnancies, because your life is at risk with ectopic pregnancies. So we weren't supposed to be trying because I have a damaged, the only tube I have left is damaged. And so the likelihood that it was ectopic was a lot higher. So we were trying to do, alternative therapies to kind of clear up some scar tissue. And we were supposed to be preventing pregnancy. So that was on me, also on him, but I haven't tried to prevent pregnancy for 2.5 years, so it slipped my mind. Anyway, luckily, and I hate saying the word luckily, the pregnancy resolved on its own. Doesn't happen a lot with ectopic pregnancies. Usually you need some sort of intervention, whether that be the chemotherapy drug, or surgery to remove the tube, or cut into the tube to remove the baby from the tube. I don't like being graphic with that stuff, but you gotta know. So, yes, anyway, so it resolved on its own. I was kind of, postpartum depression isn't really talked about much. I think, it's kind of like the stigma along with mental health. Now people are talking about it a little bit more, but what I find to not be talked about that much is the hormone imbalance and the influx and the depression that comes with miscarriages. So, your body's like, hey, we're pregnant, we're here, and then all of a sudden your hormones just start crashing down. And for about, I would say 4 weeks, I felt like a crazy person, because your body's just trying to rebalance and figure itself out, and it's just not talked about. I can't even describe all the crazy things that kind of happen, and bursting out in tears randomly, and you're dealing with grief, and you're dealing with a lot of other things, associated with miscarriages. But yeah, the hormone thing was nuts. Luckily, I seem to be all balanced out now, everything, my cycle's normal, and so I'm very grateful for that, because I know it can take a while. It did with my last surgery, ectopic. It took me a really long time to kind of balance out. So I'm grateful that it happened more quickly this time, but to be honest, it's been really depressing. I mean, losing 3 babies in, a year and a half? Like, maybe less? Like that. The amount of pain I feel is just, it's overwhelming, and it's all-consuming at times. So, yeah. That's what's been kind of going on in the infertility department. So right after my ectopic pregnancy, I decided, while we're here still in Canada, let me just get some tests done that I know I'll have to get before I do pre-IVF stuff. So about 4 weeks after my miscarriage, actually it was like 2 weeks. I'm sorry, timeline is off. 2 weeks after my last ectopic miscarriage, I had an HSG, which is a tube test. They shoot dye up there, they take an x-ray, and they see the health of the tube. So the director of the fertility clinic here in Winnipeg was the one that did it. I was very happy to see him. I love him. But I'm sure you saw my Instagram post. He told me that my tube needed to be completely removed and taken out. So I go in, obviously I'm just distraught trying to process the information. I go in 2 weeks later to get my follicles tested and, kind of do the pre-IVF, just, uh, labs and just information session. And the fertility specialist I was seeing told me something completely different in regards to surgery. She said that she would be able to cut and clear the tube because only a small portion near the ovary was the problem. The rest of the tube was fine. So I was very distraught at that point because I feel like I kind of came to a resolution of like, look, I'm not going to have any fallopian tubes. This is just my life. This is my reality. It is what it is. And then she throws me this curveball. So Craig and I decided as a couple that I would get second and third and fourth opinions from specialists in the United States, just because I feel like they may be more specialized. I don't want to say they're more specialized because I love my OB here in Winnipeg. She has been such a blessing to me. But, she's been on medical leave, so I couldn't have her do the surgery. So, we're getting opinions from U.S. surgeons because they may be just more advanced in surgery down there because the system, unfortunately, because it's socialized, it's really behind. It took me 9 months one time to get an ultrasound, like 2 years ago. It's just different. So we're going to get second and third and fourth opinions because this is a very permanent deal. Removing my last fallopian tube, it can't come back. It can't grow back. So, we're getting second opinions. And I really, honestly, I feel like it's in this space, if you are not fully confident, you need to advocate for yourself. You need to, I'm not saying go on Google and think you're a doctor and diagnose yourself. I'm not saying that at all. But you really have to trust the doctor that you're working with. And the fact that I heard 2 different opinions from somebody, from 2 different people at the same clinic, that didn't fly with me. So as of right now, we are getting opinions. But the big news. So we are moving back to the U.S. We were supposed to move to Toronto, but because season isn't happening, or we don't know if it's happening, but season isn't going to be happening in Toronto. There are way too many cases, and games in the CFL will not be played in Toronto. We know that for sure. So we are not moving to Toronto, but we are moving back to the U.S. And there's been a lot of crazy stuff. So, obviously Craig got laid off, and so we had been applying for jobs in Texas. I have always wanted to live there. Before I met Craig, I was getting my nursing degree, and then I was going to move straight from Arizona to Texas. But, obviously then I met Craig, and the rest is history. But Austin has become kind of the big new tech hub in the U.S. It's the most affordable one for sure. So we have been looking into that just because we don't know if football's going to happen. We have to think about our future. And so he had been applying for jobs, and we had a really great lead for about 4 weeks. We had a really great lead on a job. He had 10 interviews with the same company. 10. They were 45 minutes each. And last Friday, they told us that they weren't going to be making a position for him. They didn't have one for him, but they were thinking about making one. And the fact that they led us down this rabbit hole for 4 weeks, just kind of waiting, and then to just say no, it was such a gut punch. We ate a ton of junk food this weekend, just kind of coping with all the crap going on in our life. So we decided we're moving back to Arizona. Temporarily, we're going to still apply for positions in Austin, but we're going to move into storage, and we'll kind of live with Craig's parents for a little bit. It's going to be fun. I'm sure they're not too excited to have us there, but, we do what we have to do just because if Craig flies up to play football season, I won't be able to see him for 12 weeks because he'll be in that bubble. And what's the point in us, renting a place if we don't want to live in Arizona? I mean, we're open to what God has for us, but we see ourselves in Texas. And he could find a really good tech job because there's so many companies out in Austin now, tech companies, that it just would be a great place for him just job-wise, even though unemployment is through the roof and it's like a terrible time to try and find a job. You know, we're just kind of hoping that Texas happens. But in the meantime, we will be in Arizona, and it's kind of crazy that we'll be out of Canada in 3 weeks. You know, Canada's been our home, and we've had so many great memories, but we also kind of had really sad memories in Winnipeg. And so to me, it kind of seems like a clean slate and just like a fresh start. I've lost all my babies in Winnipeg, and as much as like I love this place, I just get PTSD sometimes, like driving, like going near St. Boniface Hospital, just my heart just starts beating super fast every time I see that place. So I'm excited for a new journey, new adventures, new everything, second opinions I'm stoked for. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be really good. So I'm going to update you guys when I get second opinions. I have my first one next week, and then, you know, via telemedicine. So I'll update you guys, and then we're going to kind of show our adventure as we drive back. And now that I have like an external mic, and so I'll record all of that stuff. It should be a really fun video. Just because, I mean, our life is crazy. We've moved so many times in the last 4 years. So yeah, another move. But thanks for following my journey. I know that was a lot, honestly. I need some water from talking so much. But yeah, thanks for following along. I will update you guys with everything going on, and I want to post some more infertility videos. I'm getting a little bit of my mojo back, so I'm hoping to post those soon. All right, bye.